6th of Inktober and I was in a massive rush today. I wanted to finish my drawing before setting off, firstly because I had plans for the day, and secondly because it was so cloudy this morning and I knew the natural lighting would only end up getting worse. So I thought I might as well talk about how I deal with drawing or painting when I'm in a rush. It goes without saying that the ideal way to create art isn't when you're stressed or hurrying or feeling under too much pressure. But life isn't always ideal, and for people like me who are great at procrastinating, sometimes a little pressure to make something is actually good because otherwise we'd end up putting it off. So I find there's an optimal level of pressure where it's enough to motivate me to get something finished and not too much that I'm way too stressed and it makes the whole experience not fun or enjoyable anymore. So if you're painting or drawing in a hurry, it's important to know how much time you'll actually have. I knew I'd have less than half an hour at maximum today, so I was constantly glancing at the little clock on my computer and trying to make sure I was keeping up the pace with my drawing. There were some bits I would have wanted to add more to or change, but I couldn't because of time constraints, but compromises sometimes have to be made. A thing you'll probably find is that when you draw something quickly, it often ends up looking more expressive because you're not being too careful or controlled and you're not overthinking anything. I think it's one of the few advantages of drawing in a hurry. You end up with all these accidents, sometimes accidents that end up actually improving the drawing, so like happy accidents, and it's harder to predict what the end outcome will turn out like. I was testing out what mixing grey, brown and blue ink would look like today. I've used all of these inks over the past couple of days, but I haven't really tried going over the top of layers of ink with other colours. I'd have like an area where I'd use blue, an area where I'd use grey, and an area where I'd use brown, and sometimes I'd mix blue and brown for stuff like clouds or water, but I hadn't tried combining them properly. And this time limit kind of forced me to just go for it and use my gut instinct instead of trying to overthink it or expecting it to turn out perfectly and then ended up disappointed. I mean, I wouldn't say it did turn out perfectly, but that's fine. For one, I didn't expect it to. And for another, it's part of the fun of the challenge for me to end up with some drawings that really work and others that were more experimental. But I'm actually pretty satisfied with this drawing. When I was making it, I did not think it would end up that way. I was looking at it while I was drawing going, it's gonna look rushed because I can't take the time to get all the things I want in. But after I've had some time and I've come back to it, I don't actually think it's that bad. I don't even know if it's noticeable I was rushing. I'm not even sure it looks all that different from my other drawings this month. So basically what I wanted to say is that sometimes it changes your perception when you know you've rushed something, and sometimes other people might not be able to notice at all. And also when you're working in a sketchbook like this, it allows you room to play around, not get everything perfect, so it's a lot more forgiving and there's way less pressure than trying to create final pieces. And working under a time limit isn't always 100% a bad thing either. It feels like stating the obvious to say that, but there is a difference between knowing something and believing something. And that's pretty much all I have to say in the topic for now. Other things to mention briefly are that I'm enjoying using the new colours of ink, and I'm thinking of maybe bringing even more into the mix. And also because I've been struggling with trying to control the detail on the mountains with the details brush, so I might try using a dip pen as well and seeing how that goes. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching, and see you guys next time. Bye!